Okay, without wasting much time, no delay. Today is as we say in journalism. Our first guest, will be a natural one. This is the only woman I knew with Wale all our years together. And in fact, she was her fiancée. They were planning ahead for a great time together. But God, as they say, man proposes, God disposes. And here this morning, looking lovely and delectable. I welcome on what the essence of today. This particular segment is called Reminiscences. The Wale Olomu I remember. So we are going to invite her. What does she remember about Adewale Olomu? Welcome to Vintage Talk Show. Taibat, Adebisi, Yussuf. Good morning, Taibat. Immediately I called.
Good morning.
I was wondering why you disappeared. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Great. So, first of all, give us a short, a capsule. What kind of person was Wale? As a person, as a friend, and as a would-be husband at that time. How did you see him?
Wale is a special being. I mean, he's so easy to get along with. Obviously, I met him through you guys, through your written when we were in Punch newspapers together. And there's one word that I'll just summarize him with. He's an angel in human form. When he walks into a room, he lights up the room. He's somebody that is too special for the world, I would say.
Wow.
And everybody knows that. You would never have a bad word to say with Wale Olomu. He's always a friend, a brother, and a lover. And he has set a very high, how am I going to call it? A high standard in terms of relationship. So I'm just grateful to have that experience with him. Even if it was a short one, it was a good experience. He wasn't just a lover. He wasn't just a brother. He wasn't just a friend. He was the family to all my families. At a point, I had to compensate or consolate, or I don't even know what word to console my family. Because when I'm not in, I don't know. He's everything to my family, not just me. Not just me. But over the years, we've learned to live with it, and we can look back now and smile. But
it wasn't easy.
He was the reason why I moved. He was the reason why I moved to UK, because it was too much for me in Nigeria. So they had to say, look, if this woman doesn't change the environment that she's in, I don't think she's going to survive it. So I'm happy now that we're looking back and we're smiling.
We thank God for life. We're alive. We're alive. We're strong, and we continue to pray for those who he left behind for 40 years. Yes. One question before you go. I know you are very quite busy and all that, but you want to help us relieve the moment, so to speak. What happened? How did you react that day, the 2nd of December, 1994? Yes, 29 years ago, but you still remember. How was it like? How do you react?
Of course.
Wow.
Of course. It was. I will never forget that day. I will relive it till the end. I was working in the bank. So, a night before, because normally when I finish work, I go to the hospital. Yeah? So, I didn't know he had passed. So I came to work the next morning because they didn't let me go to the hospital. They said, you need to rest today. You've been going every day. So today you have to rest. I didn't know he had passed. So apparently my brother knew and he told everybody not to let me go into the hospital. So I finished work and I went home. So in the morning when I came to work, everybody was like looking at each other, like, what is he doing? You know? So they didn't tell me anything has happened. Everybody literally knew, and I didn't know. So, you know, work was normal on that day. And my manager was shocked as well, but I didn't know what was going on. You know, when people know something and you don't know? Yeah. Anyway, my other brother came from school and he just came straight. He didn't know that he'd not told me. He just came to work. And I was helping one of the cashiers in the cubicle. You know, there was a lot of people in front, like a long, big row of people waiting for their money. So, as I was collecting the cash, my brother just went through the crowd and came in front of me and he said, "Brother Wale, people." And I'm like, "Oh, what?" Stuff like that. Stuff like that. And I fainted. And everybody was like running out of filter. So it was like a dream. I could hear voices. And my manager was going, "Who told DC? Who told?" And my brother ran away. He ran away. That was how he blotted it out. When I said, "What?" That was the laugh that I knew. So they took me to a room, you know, the usual Nigerian stuff. They poured water on me, and I came back to life.
The usual Nigerian stuff.
It was like a dream. So they had to take me home. Wow. So yeah, I will never forget that day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That was how they just broke it, just like that. He didn't know.
Just like that.
Because I knew. Just like that.
We're just responding, you know, sadly that this has happened. Oh wow. Okay. Taibat.
We weren't ready.
Nobody was. I remember his friends, colleagues in film went on strike. They were so demoralized that why should this happen to Wale and all that. It was terrible. But I leave it for someone to talk about that later. One for the road, Taibat, very briefly, for the road. What do you think about the Wale Olomu Memorial Awards that we have been at it for the past, this is the third week?
I'm very grateful for you organizing and everybody that is organizing the commemoration. It's a good thing, and I'm happy you rewarded him because he was a very hard worker. He was very passionate about work. And if I can remember everything that we did together, I'm always like angry in terms of it takes work above everything. So, I mean, it is everything, and I'm sure wherever it is, he will be happy because he really worked hard. He really worked hard.
Oh,
so thank you so much for
everything
that you guys have done.
Thank you. I've been talking to Taibat at ABC Yussuf, UK based, but she's talking to us from Morocco, I think. Have a great time. We'll see you some other time, maybe this time next year, where we go again.
By the grace of God.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Welcome, boy. And thank you for having me.
Thank you. You're welcome, dear. Thank you. Okay, Dayo, you're next. Where's Mike? Okay. He's on his way. Hey, Kiwali, how now? How are you doing? Thanks. Okay, Mr. T, I'm coming back to Dayo.
Okay, yeah.
Well, we're still on Reminiscences. The Wale Olomu I remember. And the first voice goes to his fiancé, Taibat Adebisi Yussuf. We're still expecting his younger brother, Dayo Olomu, is usually prompt. I will not know what is keeping him. But there's one man here. He used to be immediate, is it colleague or boss or they're at the same level? I can't remember where that's been, almost 30 years ago. But he's been clearly the leader of the troop when we had Fame magazine. Now he's his own man and father of many nations. He's the publisher of First Weekly, and he used to be a mainstay of Fame Weekly in those days. Welcome to the Vintage Talk Show. Dayo, Asaju, they call him the clear leader. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you today?
Yeah, we are good. And you?
Good morning.
And the family?
Uncle Tukumbo. So nice to see you again, sir.
You too. So wonderful seeing you.
And thanks for all you do. Thank you so much, sir.
We thank God. We thank God.
Thank God.
Now to business. What I know, if I say talk about Wale, today is not enough. But we have to do it in the time capsule. So, what will you remember? Most striking thing you remember about Wale?
The Wale Olomu I knew was actually a very humble man, very modest, disciplined, caring, and absolutely intelligent. So those qualities were never found wanting in Wale. Wale was a frontliner any day. He knew what he wanted. And then he went for everything he wanted at a very young age. When he left Time Institute of Journalism, he knew that his forte was actually entertainment, music, and art. And then he went immediately, and then he started work, and then from there he moved to Vintage, and then from Vintage we all assembled at Fame. So I stop like that for now.
Clearly, that is becoming very economical with words nowadays. I guess the last time I went out to any event in many years was to his 60th birthday. Sometime last, was it this month or last month? October, yeah. October. So the man is no longer a young man, so I understand. Now, Wale had this perversion for taking pictures, because we're looking for pictures for the awards, and we searched everywhere. We have very old ones we have been managing since and all that. Do you notice any other strange habit he had while working together?
Well, I wouldn't call this one strange, but very few people knew that about him. Wale was very, very strict, like I said, in disciplinarian. Well, at a point in time, when there was this issue of piracy, Wale actually practiced every damn thing he preached. The issue of piracy, many people thought that Wale was just all about writing, but they never knew he was a frontliner in this agitation. I recite a very clear case of when Wale actually took the lead, and it happened between the two of us. We had just started Fame, and then there was this day he came to the office with the tape of Lagbaja. Lagbaja just released that hit song that and all of us, we were so carried in. We were dancing to it, but I had earlier had the music at night shift. But so when he brought the tape to the office, and then we were all carried away, I went to him and said, Wale, this Lagbaja music, I need to have it to get him dub well. Now said, you want to dub it? I said, he said yes. I said, okay. I will take you to where you are going to dub the tape. Just follow me. I was not prepared for anything. So we took a bus straight to Olomu. Now I said, what is all this wahala?
Just to dub.
Just to dub. I said, you will dub now. He now took me to Olomu studio, and then that was the first day I met beside Ozogunde. We entered. I was shocked at I said, now said, Egon, Orewa no dub music, Lagbaja didn't even say anything. He just went inside, and then he gave me a copy of the tape, and then he collected, well, I think 150 naira from me. Now said that is for
that's the surprise you.
So you don't have to go and you don't have to go and talk, because if you talk, that one will not be as authentic as this. You won't hear me.
Wow.
So this one, with this, you have paid for it, you have labored for it, so you can go with it. That was how we took my 150, and then I came back to the office. But deep down me, I was happy because I had the original. But I said, Wale, but who gets me go? That is what we are talking about. When that is the meaning of anti-piracy. So if you are writing, you must practice what you preach. That is, and the following week, Lagbaja came to film himself and gave me an envelope. Inside that envelope was actually 200 naira. That is 150
plus extra
150 for the ticket, and then another 50 naira for my transport, and then everything. So since that time, I became close to Lagbaja, and then I started.
That was Wale as an activist. Wow.
Yes. So yes, that was just one among other things.
A lot of things you can. Yeah.
A lot of things.
Yeah. Now we do not have much time. Like I said earlier, when we have reminiscences, there's so much to talk about. So much. Now, one last one as you go. In this presenting these awards and all that, the memories will appear, occur in your mind and all that. What kind of thoughts are going through your mind as we are progressing with these awards in the past 3 weeks? What has been rekindled in your heart, your mind about memories of Wale Olomu?
You see, when you count for something, good things will always follow you like a shadow, and it will never leave you. So Wale led a very good life, and then he made his own contributions to the industry. So one is not actually too surprised that this kind of thing is happening now. So and then we've been expecting this for long, but at least in my lifetime we are witnessing this. And then I thank the organizers, and particularly my boss, Paj. He has always. I knew how passionate he would be when it comes to the issue of art, and then people around him. We that have worked with him. So most of us won't be surprised. But I just want to use this. I want to use this occasion to call out to every one of us to always remember those that have made their impact in the past. It wasn't as if it was only Wale was just Wale was a kidder above me at fame that he was on the same level with Desola Bakari and then Sonia Ojikutu. I was next to them. Then Kayode Tijani. But you hardly hear of Kayode Tijani again today. But whoever that is hearing me today, I want to alert the world that Kayode is not the Kayode we used to know. We are not praying to lose him again, but the Almighty God will touch him, and then God will use people to restore Kayode.
Amen.
So that is my message.
Amen. That's a sobering note from Dayo, Asaju. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us on Wale Olomu, and have a lovely time. I don't want to mention where you're talking from, but we know that you're not exactly complaining. Thank you, Dayo. Thank you, Dayo, and have a wonderful weekend. Okay? We'll speak to you later.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Michael. How now?
I'm fine, thank you.
Which one be Face City record? Okay. Mavin Grandpa, good morning. I saw one chairman. I didn't allow you inside.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, please want to go back. Bola Abimbola, good morning. Want to go back on air? Please mute your microphone. I will gist with you later.
Good morning.
Please, you are going to greet them later. I beg, mute your microphone. Mute your microphone. I want to go back on air. It's great seeing you. Oh, Mr. C, that was an interesting day we have. We are back on air. And this is still Wale Olomu Memorial Awards and Roundtable. Our guests are coming in, one after the other. But we still have one more voice on Reminiscences. The Wale Olomu I remember. He's a young man. We call him Iton. I don't know how that name came about. I don't know. Maybe after explaining, you will use a minute or two to explain. He's been an indefatigable member or friend of Wale Olomu. And he has worked closely with everybody I know in celebrity journalism. And he himself has become some kind of crown prince of this genre. And he's now special advisor to the Akwa Ibom State Governor. And he flew all the way from Ibom, I'm sure on Ibom here, to talk to us about what you remember about Adewale Olomu. Welcome to the Vintage Talk Show. My Aburo and the husband of Kemi and all those boys, very troublesome boys. Good morning, Michael Effiong. James.
Good morning, sir. It's a pleasure to be here this morning.
Okay, his acting is a broadcasting voice.
Good morning, Mike. I actually did some broadcasting at Radio Lagos, so
oh, I see.
So I'm familiar with this environment.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I forgot to add that he's also the international editor of Ovation International Magazine. And Mike, it's good to see you.
Good morning, sir. It's emotional for me to discuss Mr. Wale, as we used to call him back then. When I got I've been reading all this stuff about, immortalizing fine gentleman. Someone who cannot hurt a fly in my, always friendly, supportive of those of us who were just coming up with a profession at the time. Because of the nature of my own job at the time, when I got into fame, as you know, I didn't have any position, just write anything. So I was contributing to sports, contributing to entertainment, celebrity journalism, everything. I was doing everything. So of course, as a young person, Mr. Wale was like the barometer that we used, especially those of us who were younger and wanted to go to clubs and all that. He had the key to all the entertainment events, so we naturally gravitated towards him. And so that's how we developed that relationship at the time. So it was each time I remember his final hours, because I remember vividly. I got back one day. Sometimes he rests at our place at Medical Road, where we used to call the home for the boys. So I met him. He was sweaty. Mr. Wale wasn't saying there's nothing. He was sweating. And then we said, this is not malaria. This is just more than malaria. So we now decided to take him to the hospital. Unfortunately, that was the journey that led to took him to Louvre and all that. And then, I'd never cried for anybody. I used to think I'm a very strong person, but the day we were burying Mr. Wale, I wept because something is that how someone dies, just like that. Someone you saw, just a few days, a few weeks ago, and is just dead like that, can't speak. And they brought to fore the permanency of death. That you can't even, you can't relate to him, you can't joke with him. He was the number one fun guy, in the newsroom. We're always joking and all that. So Mr. Wale is gone. And when I was just driving here and I listened to the years that he's gone, even made it more powerful. That so it's been gone for that long. You know, it's sad, but I remember him for good.
Okay.
Because of the kind of things he did for some of us who are growing up.
Okay. We spoke with Taibat. This is fiancé. Minutes before you came in, and then Dayo also spoke about him. Nigerian culture is not to speak ill of the dead.
Yeah.
We always want to keep them in good memory.
Yes.
You know, but everybody is not a saint. We all have a bad side and all that.
True.
You know, when you look back at all you have had with Wale as a boss, as a friend, as a compatriot, and all, and as a co-conspirator in all these nightly affairs and all that, you know, what pained you most about his demise, about his absence? What pained you most, you know, about the loss?
I believe that at the time, you know, that he left us, you know, there was so much he had to do for the industry. I think when I listen to stories about him, I can never forget. I can never forget the incident. Wale, Lord Mayor, and Obesere. You know, that incident. It was still funny and it still registers in my memory. Okay, if I can have a few minutes to just talk about it. Okay. I remember that Obesere came to our office for an interview, you know, and in the usual manner, we first go to Mr. Wale's office to sit down and all that. And sometimes we take them around the newsroom to introduce them. So he now walked to, Obesere was in Mr. Wale's office, and you know the way our office is constructed, you can hear from Mr. Wale's office, you can hear what we discuss in the newsroom. So he came in, Lord Mayor was there with us when he came to say, you know, Obesere is in the office and he wants to meet. Bobo onínú jákujàku yẹn. Lọ sọ fún pé mi fẹ́ rí o, báwo lọkùnrin ṣe máa wọ ṣe kínní. I don't want to see him, please. Lọ get èèyàn tó jà kó wá introduce ẹ̀ sí mi. And I knew that Obesere had heard what Lord Mayor was saying. So Mr. Wale was like, Lord Mayor, tó bá gbọ́ mi kọ́, báwo lọkùnrin ṣe máa ṣe irun bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. I've never seen Mr. Wale that angry. He was very, very angry that day, and he poured out his heart later, you know, to us and said that he knows that Lord Mayor is unpredictable and all that, but he never knew that he could go to that extent to embarrass his guests. So it's difficult for me to see any minors. Maybe because I've not been looking out for those minuses at the time, you know. But that was one of the occasions where he was really, really angry, was pained. That day was like a bad day for him. Okay. But he said Obesere was not flowing in the interview. I really wanted to use that interview that week. Yeah. So I mean, everything I remember about him is just a fine.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
An angel.
Yes.
You know.
As difficult and queer as it sounds, you hardly can find a piece of negativity around or about Wale Olomu. Thank you so much. Wale was the entertainment editor when Mike came in, young man, in 1993 or thereabout, 92?
1990, late 1991 actually.
Late 91, okay. And here we are today. 32 years after, he's a man of his own. Thank you so much, Mike, for joining us on the Vintage Talk Show to talk about our friend, our brother, and our colleague, Wale Olomu. We'll take a short break and we'll start the awards